Hello everyone. 2025, a big year for crypto. We've got Donald Trump in the White House. He's promising to make certain investments in crypto. Crypto is going through the roof. It is going to the sky, and everyone wants to know where to cash out crypto tax-free. Well, today, this is your opportunity. Let's cash out crypto tax-free together right now. Let's take a look. Hello everyone, this is Javier Correa, the Tax Research and Development Associate here at Nomad Capitalist, and we're very enthusiastic on crypto. And hey, rightfully so, crypto is a revolution. Crypto is a movement. Crypto is regaining the freedom that many of us have lost over these past few years. Crypto is saying bye to centralized currency. Crypto is saying forget government control. Crypto is saying forget high fees for international transactions. Crypto, my friends, is freedom. But the one thing not all of us have been able to achieve is crypto tax-free, right? That is the last bastion where governments come in and say, all right, you've got your crypto, all right, I won't bother you, you made it, all right, you got me, you're out of my central bank system, but you're still paying tax on those capital gains derived from the crypto. So, that is something that bothers me, something that is in the back of my head, and I know that a lot of our clients share this same concern. Whether it's Bitcoin, whether it's Ethereum, whether it's Hex, whether it's any coin, you name it, fill in the blank. It's great, it's fantastic, and then when you want to cash out, capital gains tax. How terrible is that? You thought about it, you invested early, you did all the right things, and just for being successful, you are being punished with capital gains taxes. So, how do we do? How can we escape the capital gains taxes imposed on crypto? Well, the solution is a crypto-friendly tax residence. That's why I like to tell clients. So when a crypto client comes to me, we start discussing, we start, potentially talking about the crypto portfolio he has. Let's make it simple, it's purely Bitcoin. So I have a Bitcoin client comes in, tells me, listen, Javier, I got in early. I have millions, if not billions of dollars sitting in appreciated crypto. What can I do? So immediately I would say, all right, let's think about your long-term goals. Let's think about how you are doing this, how you want to play this out. Do you want to cash out now? Do you want to cash out in the future? What do you want to do? And then also in terms of the lifestyle. And in many cases, a lot of our crypto clients will tell me, listen, I want to live in Europe. I think Europe is a great lifestyle. I see a lot of my crypto friends hanging out in the little cafes you have here at the border of the Med, right here on the shores of the Med. There are a ton of little cafes. This is beautiful. People come in, they drink their wine, they have their coffee, they live as digital nomads. It's absolutely fantastic. A lot of our crypto clients like this lifestyle and they really want to be centered in Europe. And so I said, well, why not do a video on one of the best places to cash out crypto in Europe? And I happen to be right here. I'm in Malta. I'm in the heart of the Mediterranean. And guess what? A lot of our crypto clients have come here to cash out crypto tax-free. And let me explain how they're doing that. So essentially, what happens here in Malta is that you have this thing called the non-domicile tax regime. For those of you who are maybe new to the channel, or maybe you're not fully aware of this, domicile and residence are not synonyms. I can't stress this enough. So when you think about these two terms, a lot of people use them interchangeably. This is a mistake. Domicile refers to a person's homeland, where a person belongs. It is in essence where the center of their vital interest is, whereas residence just happens to be the place where you're physically living at a given moment. So it's not the same thing. So what happens in Malta and in certain other jurisdictions across Europe and across the world? Those who are residents of Malta but are not domiciled in Malta, so think a person who comes to Malta, resides in Malta for, let's say, a few years, but ultimately can prove he's going back to his homeland. In some cases, even who can prove that the final resting place he's going to have is in his homeland outside of Malta. Those people can access what is called the non-dom regime, non-domicile tax regime. For those people, foreign source income is only taxable when remitted to Malta, right? So far, so good. So that allows you to do a lot of tax planning. But specifically for my crypto friends out there, you're telling me, okay, Javier, that's great, but I need to live off my crypto, man. Like, honestly, I'm gonna sell a coin, I'm gonna sell half a coin, I'm gonna sell Satoshi, but I wanna take that girl out for a nice steak dinner. I wanna rent one of these beautiful yachts I see here, sail across the Med, have a lobster, pop open the champagne, live the life. And I get you. Honestly, I do. I want to do the same thing. And so what you tell me is, okay, Javier, all right, but once I remit it, I'm going to be taxed up to 35%. That's the rate in Malta. So I tell them, think again. Malta specifically, and this is the big one. All right, drum roll, please. This is the big one. Malta excludes non-Maltese capital gains from taxation for non-domiciled tax regime holders, even if remitted to Malta. There you have it, folks. That's the best one. Even if remitted to Malta, the capital gains are tax-free. So if you got 10 million, 100 million, $1 billion sitting in Bitcoin out there in Switzerland, in the US, wherever you store it, as long as it's outside of Malta and those gains are non-Maltese, you can remit that to Malta as long as you're a non-dom, and you can live the high life here in the Med, beautiful lifestyle, and you can pay absolutely zero tax, and it's legal. Now, depending on how you claim your Maltese tax residence, you may have certain minimum contributions you have to do, but, stay calm. I don't want to scare you off. Those contributions are relatively small if you are a high earner. So for example, if you want to be more nomadic, you may have to pay a contribution that is as low as 15,000 euros per year, and then the remittance rules kicking after that. But if it's capital gains, you're in the clear, no worries, 15,000 euros per year, and you're good. If you're willing to spend a bit more time in Malta and you can commit to more time on the ground in general, that minimum contribution can be lowered to as low as 5,000 euros per year. So ultimately, it is possible to be a crypto millionaire and only pay 5,000 euros per year here in Malta with the proper planning. In addition to that, think about the lifestyle you're going to have here. So you're in Malta, you're in the heart of the Med, you got your yachts, you have everything around here. Think about that beautiful girl you're going to meet here in Malta. You're going to take her all around the Mediterranean, southern France, Italy, etc. Think about all the great opportunities. Maybe dating is not your thing, but there are a lot of digital nomads. There are a lot of alternative investors that are here in Malta taking advantage of the tax incentives and of the great lifestyle, the lower cost of living, especially when compared to North America. This is particularly for my US and Canadian clients. You're getting hammered. You're really getting hammered with the high cost of living. Healthcare is through the roof. Housing is practically unaffordable. Here in Malta, if you're coming with a Miami level or a Montreal or a Toronto level income, trust me, you're going to live the high life here in Malta much more affordably than you would in North America. So you're going to meet friends, potentially have an interesting dating pool. It's going to be fantastic. And you're going to be here in the heart of the Med with healthier food, better food. It's going to be fantastic. You're going to love it here. In addition to that, let's say you are maybe in a later stage of life. I also talk to a lot of our clients. Sometimes their grandkids talk to them about Bitcoin. Sometimes it's that granddaughter who's into programming. He said, Grandpa, come here. I need to teach you about this. This thing is called Bitcoin. You're going to love it. And we've had some people who've done very well in crypto, and they're 75, they're 80, they're 85 years old. And listen, Bitcoin changed their lives. And so some of these older people who are in their golden years, they want something more peaceful. They want something tranquil. They want mild winters. Think about it. I'm in the middle of winter here in Malta, and look at what I'm wearing. This is warm, right? This is a very mild winter by European standards. So if you want warm weather, you want a slow pace of life, you want something that, a base that allows you to potentially host your family, your grandkids, and just, play on the shores of the Med, have that four-legged friend come along with you and just enjoy so many years of hard-earned income and work in a place that really values and appreciates and rewards your efforts, then Malta is definitely one of those locations. So you can be a Bitcoin millionaire as a retiree. You can be a Bitcoin millionaire as an entrepreneur. You can be a Bitcoin millionaire as an investor. Regardless of how you made your money in Bitcoin, Ethereum, or whatever currency, Malta welcomes you. Malta opens the doors to you, and Malta wants you here and will give you generous tax incentives to come here. So, Cash Out Crypto 2025, Malta's definitely on the map. Not the only place where you can do it, but one of the friendliest in Europe. So, if you want to know more about how you can cash out crypto tax-free, if you want to learn more about how Malta can help you cash out crypto tax-free, and if you want to compare Malta to those other alternatives that you can find out there, then be sure to go to nomadcapitalist.com/apply, drop a comment down below, say Bitcoin Nomad Capitalist, and follow us on Instagram for more videos. Until then, I'll see you next time.